Okay, and then also, myself and Ross were massive fans of the Irish Rugby as well. Okay, I'm sure loads of people that are watching are as well. We thought the Irish Rugby is back. The Six Nations is back on February the 1st, so that's in between all them events we just discussed on just earlier. But myself and Ross were sitting down there and we were like, right, who should be Ireland's new captain? Because we have a new head coach, Andy Farrell. Myself and Ross were like, right.
And Rory Best retired, obviously, at the World Cup.
Yeah, Rory Best retired, if people didn't know.
Yeah.
But it's 4 years until the next World Cup. I think it's on in France, is it?
Yeah.
You sure?
I actually think it's a bit all over. I think. I'm actually not 100% sure.
I think it is in France. But
it's a while away anyway.
Yeah, it's 4 years away. Don't worry about it. 4 years to check it out and make sure the flights are not going to the wrong place. But we were like, right, what's going to be Andy Farrell's first point of call? It's going to be picking who his next captain should be. Who's going to be his right hand man, Ross? I think we should go over maybe who the candidates are, Ross.
Yeah. Look, I think the two obvious candidates for this year's Six Nations are, you could have Johnny Sexton or Peter O'Mahony. I think they're sort of the leaders in the squad at the moment. And
you'd put them right at the top, yeah?
I think they're the obvious candidates in the team right now.
Okay.
But I think...
Can I tell you one thing? Because when they won the Grand Slam...
Yeah.
Peter O'Mahony and Johnny Sexton both held up the
trophy.
The trophy together, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Look, I think in terms of longevity and in terms of who's going to be the captain going forward, I think maybe Tyg Furlong could be a possibility. There's a lot of talk of James Ryan being a possibility. I think what's really important when you're looking at their captain, obviously Pete loves that idea, when you're looking at that captain is who is almost a guaranteed starter, and then from there onwards you have to pick your captain. There's no point. I've seen so many teams where you pick the captain and you're not even too sure if that person should be starting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think,
and also, are they going to be there for the next 4 years as well?
Exactly.
But how important is that, Ross, as well? Knowing that they are going to be available for the next 4 years.
Well, I think that's why Brian O'Driscoll was made captain when he was so young. That they were like, right, he's a leader on the pitch and he's young. He'll be there for the next while. Make him captain. Yeah,
but he was also an extremely special talent as well.
You could if
you didn't know.
Yeah, but you could easily argue Tyg Furlong's an extremely impressive talent.
I agree.
James Ryan's an extremely impressive talent. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I think between those two, that's where I'm looking next for captaincy. I feel like there are two people who have their names absolutely nailed down to that team sheet.
I know. Well, then, but how do we?
Well, in fairness, you can pick someone else. You know how you don't have to be like.
But let's go over them, right? Let's go over them, right? So we'll start off with Johnny Sexton, obviously, right?
Yeah.
The main man for Leinster. In 4 years' time, as we know at the moment, he's almost do you think he's really going to make the next 4 years?
If you ask him, he'll probably say he will. You know what I mean? Yeah. But competition is hotting up so much for that out half jersey in Leinster. Let alone Ireland. Sexton's there, but Ross Byrne is absolutely batting down the hatches there. He played brilliantly against Northampton, and he was also brilliant when he came on against Northampton. Ross Byrne's brother Harry Byrne is also on the side, and so is Kieran Frawley. They're all absolutely excellent choices at out half. And then you have obviously Carty over in Connacht, and you have Carberry down in Munster. You know what I mean? There's plenty of competition for that position, and I don't think Johnny Sexton is going to be the person in 4 years' time, just because he's so injury prone
and the way he plays.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking about it today, and I was talking to one of the lads in work, and all I was saying was, what do you think about Johnny Sexton coming in and getting that position, even though someone's playing week in, week out and playing very, very well? Someone like Ross Byrne, who plays week in, week out for Leinster, playing the Heineken Cup games for Leinster. But as soon as Sexton fits, right, bench, but you know what I mean? Sometimes I almost think you should stick with the consistency. I
get what you mean, but it also comes down to the money that has been paid to these guys, and also the experience as well, and people's jobs are on the line as well. You know what I mean? It's who do I pick? For instance, remember Harry Kane had to start in the Champions League final, even though he was injured, but it was
and Lucas Moore scored a hat-trick the week before.
But that's the thing. But the situation they're in now is because obviously the Six Nations starts on February the 1st. Johnny Sexton's going to be out to possibly March. So
Yeah.
do you think that's also going to jeopardise the possibility of him becoming captain as well?
Probably on this occasion.
Or do you think that could be a cop-out? Because maybe Andy Farrell's sitting at home being like, right, thank God he's injured because I want to pick James Ryan, for instance. And also, supposedly Joey Kirby broke his arm today in training for Munster. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Tonian's posted that as well. So,
look, I actually think the more I think about it, the more I think like James Ryan seems like a solid pick. I always think it's good to see a forward as a captain. I think it's sort of, you lead by example in the forwards. You know what I mean? It's more of an intimidation factor also. And the way I look at it is James Ryan seems to be constantly on the pitch. And that's what you're sort of looking for. You know what I mean? I think you go into full camp with Johnny Sexton as captain, and then next thing you know, he's injured after the first game. Then you have to pick a new captain for the rest of it.
Yeah. What even what about the possibility, right? Say if you pick Sexton for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And then
what? As in then had James Ryan's voice captain.
Yeah. And then like if Sexton didn't, unfortunately, if he didn't make it the next couple of years, then James Ryan is just being groomed and ready to go. Because you never know, if you gave it to James Ryan straight away, other players from different provinces could be like, oh, why is he ahead of me?
Well, I think he's ahead of most people on skill level alone.
Well, yeah, but I mean, maybe at the elders, like Peter O'Mahony, for instance, like, I mean, he could, like...
Yeah, but Peter O'Mahony's going to be captain no matter what, whether you give him the armband or not.
I know.
That's who he is. But Munster are playing, like, so poorly compared to the other provinces at the moment that I almost think his starting position isn't guaranteed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you just look at the Leinster back row, like, the amount of players like Caelan Doris, Max Deegan, and then obviously have Van der Fleer and Rhys Ruddock. Like, all these players are like competing to get in that Irish squad in the back row and fight for their jersey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, but no one's guaranteed a starting spot in the back row.
Yeah, I know, but like I totally get what you mean, and I know they're stacked with the 6, 7, and 8 positions, but just because there's not many people competing in second row doesn't mean you shouldn't be like, all right, well, he will be there. So
well,
come on.
I think there is massive competition in second row for the other starting spot, if that makes sense.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I think Olden Dillon got injured there, but you know, like Ian Henderson there, Ross Maloney, like there's loads of players who are like competing for that second row spot. You know what I mean? But James Ryan has that one nailed down, and I don't think Andy Farrell even ruled out Devin Toner being in back in intention to start alongside him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and again with Tadhg Furlong, I feel like he's like the best number 3 in the world. So therefore, he's not an option for captain. I just don't know
why,
personality wise.
Why wouldn't he be?
Tadhg.
Or even Cian Healy.
Yeah, but I think Cian Healy's 31 also, and he's on like sort of the latter side of things. He'll be 35 by the time the World Cup rolls around.
Yeah, but he did say he's aimed to make it.
Oh, absolutely. But Johnny Sexton said the same thing. You know what I mean? They're more injury prone players, and I think Cian Healy's brilliant. I think he's better now than he's ever been. But I think less often than not he plays 80 minutes. If that makes sense. James Ryan seems to play 80 minutes quite a lot.
Yeah, and
I personally think it's better to have your captain on the field for the full game.
You never really see James Ryan do that many interviews, do you?
Not a hell of a lot of interviews.
And do you not think this is a lot of pressure to put on the young man's shoulders as well?
Yeah, but he seems to thrive under pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at his young age, he's already won the Six Nations. He's already been to a World Cup. He's already won the European Cup. You know what I mean? Like, if that doesn't scream thrive under pressure, don't know what does. Yeah. At one stage, he'd won his first 24 professional games before he even lost a game. Like, if you put up his win-loss record as a rugby player, as an MMA record, geez, you'd be saying he's won the GOATs.
Yeah. The more you say it now, I think James Ryan will get it. The more you're going on about it, because also he's from Leinster, like Sexton, Furlong.
I just want to press that. It's got no battery. But go on, keep going.
Yeah, Sexton, Furlong, Cian Healy. They're all around him all the time, so I don't think they'd be like, why is he getting over me, sort of thing.
I think they'd be happy for him. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I think if you were bitter over someone else getting captain, you probably shouldn't have been captain. True, you know what I mean? Like, you should just want what's best for the team.
That's a good point.
And if you're going to put your own needs ahead of the team, well then maybe you weren't the person to lead outside.
So you think he's going to get it? Yeah,
I think so. I think it's a good shout. Leinster are on absolute fire at the moment. Like every time I watch them play, they're putting 50 points on someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they scored like over 40 points against Northampton twice, against Ulster, against Connacht. You know what I mean? And they're all, the other team was up for those games a lot. You know what I mean? There, 2 interprovincial games and then European Cup games against the team that's winning the English League, and they trounced all of them.
Yeah. So if you're going to go in order, like, so who do you think will get it? You think James Ryan definitely will get it, or is he the person you want?
No,
to get
he's the person I want to get it.
Okay.
I think leading into the Six Nations. No, I think James Ryan will get it. I think Andy Farrell has to come in here and make a statement, and if he wants to play safe, just give it to Peter O'Mahony. I mean, no one's going to ever go terrible decision.
I know, yeah. See, that's what I was thinking, Peter O'Mahony as well, but he hasn't really excelled there on the last wall as well, and I think he hit such a high that I don't think he hit that high again, especially in the World Cup.
Yeah, I think the World Cup's sort of hard to judge because everyone was poor in the World Cup.
Yeah, but I don't really think he's going to make massive changes out of the team as well. I know he dropped Carney out of the squad, but Jordan Larmour, what a man to come into that position as well.
Oh, he's absolutely brilliant. I just think it's going to be interesting to see how he does play.
Yeah,
as an overall, Andy Farrell, what sort of tactics he's going to employ, because it seems like Joe Schmidt's tactics were going stale by time World Cup roll around. It's almost like he showed his hand too early, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So it'd be very interesting to see. But look, the Irish rugby scene's hotting up like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, it really is exciting. Like already, Leinster qualified. Looks like Ulster going to qualify as well.
Munster, Connacht are struggling a bit, but we'll see how they get on.
But we're obviously going to be doing way more rugby stuff in the lead up to the Six Nations as well. We're really looking forward to now actually seeing who do you think actually will be the future captain of Ireland. I think it's going to be Peter O'Mahony, but you think it's going to be James Ryan. Okay.
We'll be interested to see. I know we didn't get to talk about football in the show, but I'll tell you what we'll probably do is we'll probably have a heavy football show in the coming weeks with all the transfers, the January transfer window. At the end of the day, I think it's just like Liverpool will win the league by so much that what else you're really supposed to talk about? You know what I mean? So
Ollie in, Ollie out, Pogba in, Pogba out.
We'll get back to that when it's when there's a few more talking points, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think my only question about the football is, Baz, do you think Liverpool will go the season unbeaten? I feel like that talk
in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
I feel like that question took a very long time to be asked when they were 16 wins, 1 draw.
Yeah, I think people didn't want to blow their beans on that question, and then they have nothing else to talk about for the rest of the year.
I'm sure someone from Liverpool will probably betting anyway.
Yeah.
At the start of the season.
Yeah.
But I think that's sort of all from us. I hope you enjoyed this show. I have no real idea what the start of the show was about, but I'm sure you guys got some entertainment value out of it. Thank you so much for listening to us. Great to be back. New year, first show of the year. Do give us a thumbs up. Do subscribe. And as always, Barry, stay energized.